is the Town of Rocky Hills Economic Development Commission regular meeting, Tuesday, September 9th, 2025. Public comment. This portion of the meeting is specifically set aside for comments from the public, who are asked to limit their comments to 2 minutes. Any person interested in providing public comment remotely should email publicmeetings@rockyhillct.gov prior to 4 p.m. on the day of the meeting, at which time a link will be provided to attend this meeting, as well as instructions on how to participate. Anyone? No? Okay. Move on to the approval of minutes.
Read them. I make a motion to approve minutes.
Don, I just want to point out there's two sets of minutes.
Yeah, there are 2 dates, yeah.
There's 2 sets of minutes.
Yeah, there's a June 30th and August 12th.
Okay. So can I have a motion to
I
approve?
make a motion to approve both.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. We now have the, Middlesex Chamber update.
We hosted a wonderful Economic Development Consortium meeting this morning in the community center that me and Dawn attended. Pretty informative, useful. We talk about our challenges and go through like municipal updates and all that fun stuff. So
It's a good group.
yeah, it is. It's nice to get everyone's feedback of like things that they're working on and things that they're struggling with, and we have a lot of the same issues and the same problems, obviously, since we all do economic development. So it's nice to have that shoulder to lean on and that advice. So
And get some
Good.
different ideas from, too.
yeah,
How to-
yeah, a lot of good ideas rolling and different connects and contacts and all that stuff.
Anything else? Have you been to any chamber events?
They've been mostly off for the summer, and they're, temporarily in
The
another
building, yeah.
Yeah.
building.
They do have a division meeting next week on Wednesday.
September 17th,
Yes.
September 17th at a place.
A
And I do
place
not
that I
recall-
forget.
I'll get it for you. I just got the email about it today.
Me too. I'm blanking on where it's at.
I will have it momentarily.
I actually think they have
also-
function committee.
Yeah.
Until I get it.
I was gonna
I
say,
think we're just going to stare at you while you try to.
there's also a breakfast meeting at the Sheridan. I believe it's October. Is it the 30th? That doesn't sound right. That's a Thursday. It's the last week of October. It's at the Sheridan, and it's the UConn men's basketball coach, Dan Hurley. That's always a really fun.
That's the one that sells out.
It sells out.
That
Yes.
one, the one with Gino. So it is at Masonicaire at Greenridge Place.
Yes.
At 1 Elizabeth Court.
Thank you.
Thank you to Ashley and entire staff for hosting.
And that's on what day?
Wednesday, September 17th at 8 a.m.
Okay. That's it for the chamber update?
Yep, that's all I have.
Okay. So now we have a presentation by 3228 Main Street LLC. That's you. I think this-
Good evening. My name is Gaetan Rockamora. I live at 86 Fox Hill Drive in Rocky Hill. I've been a resident here for close to 40 years. I'm the owner of 3228 Main Street, which was previously people are calling it a nursery. It wasn't a nursery, it was a flower shop where they did flower arrangements. They sold fruit baskets there. They had their food handling license. They sold lawn ornaments. They sold things that were accessory to flowers. They did funeral arrangements. They did weddings. So they were there for long over 40 years. And Julie, the owner, at 73 years old, decided that she had had enough and retired. So I bought the building. And didn't do much to it at all yet. The building's existing. There's a shed in the back. There's a greenhouse, and there's a 1,000-square-foot building with 2 levels. So I have interest from Dr. Sweeta Gary, who does canine rehab. She owns Canine Rehab, which is presently located in Glastonbury. So she lived in Glastonbury. She just moved maybe 6 or 7 months ago. She moved to Rocky Hill, and she wants to move her business to Rocky Hill. So what she does is she does canine rehab, pets that have come out of surgery or pets that have been injured and walking or chasing another dog or whatever. So she does the canine rehab. She also does pet grooming. She does, and she sells pet accessories. She has a little pet bakery where she sells pet treats. She sells pet food. There's a refrigerator in the building now, so she does organic pet food as well, that has to be refrigerated. So the location really suits her. Her hours are 7 to 6, and she apologized. She works till 6, so she couldn't make it. She wanted to be here tonight, but couldn't. Drop off and pick up, or at separate times. As she's done with one dog, that dog will be in the building, and then the owner will come and pick it up, and somebody else will drop a dog off. Most of her stuff is done through appointment. So, talked to Kim Ritchie. She said, we'll go before the commission, planning and zoning, and we'll ask them if they feel it needs a special permit. So, went before the planning and zoning commission about, I think, back in July. And because it was my opinion, they thought it was like personal care, and dog grooming and dog care is not personal care. The legislative definition, it falls in the legislative definition of retail. So Kim had told me that if I go from retail to retail, I wouldn't need a special permit. So we went, again, before the Planning and Zoning Commission, and the chairman felt as though I needed to go for a special permit, which I applied for. So there's a set of criteria that you need to meet when going for a special permit in this town. And I've met them all. Is the location suitable for the use? Yes, the location is suitable for the use. Is the location and size of the site appropriate for the use? Absolutely. Special permits, in my opinion, are more for the use. In other words, if you're going to put a building up, my issue here is that this is a commercial site in a residential zone, okay? So a special permit, in my view, is if you're going to be erecting a building, is it going to, if there's a commercial lot in a residential area and you're going to be erecting a building, is it going to take away from the neighborhood, okay? Well, this application is unique because everything's already existing. All the buildings are there. We're not changing anything. We're not changing anything on the outside. We're not changing anything on the inside. The special permit application, the Planning and Zoning Commission wants to make sure that the light is not going to be too bright on the exterior of the buildings, impairing on, or bothering the neighbors and that kind of stuff. But again, we're not changing anything. Everything is staying the same. So was a suitable location? Yes. The location and size for the site appropriate for the use? Yes. Again, because it's existing. The site's existing, and we don't have any plans to change anything. So, again, the buildings are existing. The change I want to make is I want to put up a chain link fence in the back, or Dr. Gary wants to put up a chain link fence in the back. So we're on Main Street, right? So she's outside with a dog, and sometimes dogs will see something and they'll try to run, and sometimes your hand lets go of the leash, right? And she's on Main Street, and obviously it's somebody else's pet. She wants to make sure that it's safe. So the back of the existing building where the flower shop was, she wants to fence that off, which is noted on the plan. And if anybody has trouble seeing that, I have a plan.
Can you make the picture bigger at all, or no?
Well, how about if I just give you a plan?
Sure. Be fine.
Anybody else want one?
Yeah.
We'll share.
We can pass it down.
If you have a couple, hand them out.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, there you go. Now you'll be able to see.
Yeah, you can't really see.
No, on the screen in front of us.
Oh, he can
though.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The red line is the new change.
Okay, so the red line behind the building, correct, is the new chain link fence going from the back corner of the greenhouse to the existing building. Now, the other red line is a vinyl fence, 6-foot tall, solid vinyl fence that I want to put up just to give us some separation from, there's one neighbor in the back, and he's actually further to the north, so this property has a wood line behind it and trees. So I think that the 6-foot solid white vinyl fence is actually gonna help them, because all the traffic and the truck traffic from Main Street, it's gonna block that for them, right? So I'm proposing from one side of the greenhouse, from the north side of the greenhouse, down the side and over with a 6-foot vinyl fence. And then if you look from the southeast corner of the greenhouse over and back up to the original building, that's gonna be a chain link fence. And then behind the shed is a chain link fence, all confined within the 6-foot solid fence. The other change that we did, and Commissioner Sean Hussey brought this up, and it was a good idea. The last parking space, originally the parking lot went on an angle, heading towards the Main Street. Well, Ralph, the old owner, always wanted to change that, but his wife always liked the character of the parking lot being on an angle, and she had the stone stoppers in front of it. Well, Commissioner Hussey brought up the fact that when the last car is parked, in order for that car to get out of the space, it would have to be into the right-of-way of the road. Not in the road, but into the right-of-way of the road. So he thought that making that parking area straight or parallel to the building, giving that last car that is to the last couple of parking spaces to the north, more room to back out. So they're not going to be they won't be in the roads right away for backing out. It would just make it a safer situation. So I had my engineer make that change as well. So the only changes, again, that we're going to do, we're adding the 3 employee parking spaces that you're going to see right in front of the shed, right? Do you guys see those?
Yep.
The shed, there's a shed in the back. It's a shed. It's 35 feet long.
Right here. Existing shed.
So in front of that shed are 3, there are only going to be 2 people working, Dr. Gary and her assistant, but we have an extra space for an employee there. So we have 3 parking spaces there, and then we put the parking spaces in the front parallel to the front of the building. So those are our changes. It's a lower impact. Ralph and Julie had an unbelievable business there. They sold Christmas trees, they sold pumpkins. So in season, I mean, they had people parked in the back, in the front. They were great people, okay? They are great people.
Can you take a break for a second? Can I ask you some questions on this map?
Sure.
You might have to come over here.
Okay.
I'm not gonna
Sorry.
point north, south, or anything like that, so. Your space that you're asking is just this right here.
So this is the solid, here's the north side of the green, here's the greenhouse.
Yep.
So this is a solid vinyl
Yep.
fence, all the way here.
Yep.
This guy's house is up here somewhere, okay? So, and this is all upholstery
Right, I got all
shop
that.
and Hicks and all that. So this is the solid white vinyl fence. Here's the chain link fence behind this shed right
Yep.
here. And then here's from the back, from the south side of this greenhouse right here, with a chain.
What's the purpose of this fence here?
So when she walks out of the thing, here's a deck. So when she walks out the back door, you know. if
Nothing
she-
will, right, okay.
If she has a dog on a leash and, you know, she's practicing the dog's range of motion or walking the dog and trying to give it some exercise, if the dog breaks loose from her, the dog can't go out and onto Main Street.
This is her main area where the dogs are being rehabbed.
Right here,
Okay.
right in this building.
And so what's the purpose, if it's all being done here, what's the purpose of needing fences all over here and here?
Well, this is a solid white vinyl fence, so, you know, so there's no, if there's any noise or whatever, or it gives us separation from here to here. Solid white vinyl, 6-foot high fence, right? Complete separation from the residential area.
Same
So
thing.
there's,
Okay.
yep, and from here, although his house is way up here, okay? And this is actually the wrong map, this parking lot's going this way, this is
Okay.
actually that way.
I got it now.
Yeah, so, yeah, his house is way up here, so he's never even gonna know anything, but, just for separation between the back
Okay.
and that. And there's her and her assistant, so if she's working the dog here, the assistant can be working the dog there. In other words, we'll keep the dog separate.
Got it. How many dogs generally are at any given time?
You know, she could be, working, I'm gonna get the mic. She could be working, with one dog, upstairs. She could be, you know, giving that dog a break and working with another dog downstairs. Her assistant could be grooming a dog, so at any one time, 5 to 10.
Okay.
But I think, and sorry to interrupt if you've got more, but I think one thing that's important too, because I watched the planning and zoning meetings on this, and it's not a kennel.
No.
There's not a bunch of dogs overnight, because that's a separate license as well. That would be a different use than this specifically. So it may be 5 or 10 dogs there during the day, periodically off and on, but it's like an appointment only. It's like going to a doctor's office for physical therapy for a human. You're not necessarily staying there overnight for a while. So I think the biggest question for the neighborhood and the neighbors and planning and zoning is it more intrusive than the previous use, which was non-conforming?
What question? The dogs are there overnight until their rehab is deemed sufficient.
think they
to be
come
released.
back.
No, they come back the next
No,
day.
they-
In a
think
day in and
she-
day out. They're
Yeah.
Not overnight.
No.
Right,
I think you need.
right. Overnight's considered a kennel,
Any overnight.
and you need a
duration.
special permit for that.
Okay, so.
And it's not a
we're not going
veterinarian
for that permit.
where you have somebody has to stay overnight to
Right.
rehab. Like, they've already had the surgery and then gone home, and then they're coming here to be
Right, kind
trained
of like
how
going
to-
to suburban physical therapy.
Okay, all right, I thought
For
they were
us.
staying overnight.
So, yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Well, I think the core question, and I think the next thing that I would ask, it follows this up, is that the big question is this more intrusive to the neighborhood than what was there before? So what was there before was plants and some retail, and now it's dogs and some retail. And is there less traffic coming and going than the previous business? I mean, obviously, dogs are louder than plants. There's a little bit more activity there, but also it's right next to a garage and an upholstery shop
Right,
that is obviously louder than that.
right.
So-
I hear their impact wrenches all day long.
Yeah.
I'm there during the day
And do
and,
you?
you know, more power to them. They're making
And
money.
one
God
of the
bless them.
other neighboring properties is yours as well, is that correct?
Yes.
It looks like it, yeah.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
all mine, yeah. So, yeah, again, the legislative definition of dog grooming and pet care is retail. So they told me that I had to go for a special permit because pet grooming is not retail, and what was in there before was retail. We've already come to the conclusion that it's less of an impact, okay? So, which is obvious. I mean, again, Julie and Ralph had an unbelievable business there, and I mean, their cars were parked all the way over to Hicks a lot of times. So luckily, he had a good relationship with them. But the less traffic for sure. They had a delivery vehicle that delivered to, you know, the wedding venues and to, you know, funerals and things of that nature and anniversary parties, whatever. So the vehicle was in and out all day long. So, yeah, we've already determined that it's less of an impact. So I was a little taken back when I was told that I had to go for a special permit. I mean, I have no problem doing it. I hired the engineer. I'm, you know, going through all the motions. But again, dog grooming, canine rehab, it's good for the community. I've talked to people about it. People think it's a great use of the property. They're excited. So, you know, but.
And
you know,
this
I'm
is by
going before 'em.
appointment only, correct?
And no, because if somebody's at the dog park on Elm Ridge and they decide that they want dog treats,
Okay.
they're gonna drive over there and they're gonna buy dog treats. Or if their leash is starting to wear or whatever and they want a new one, they're gonna stop in there. So, no, it's gonna be drive-in as well, but, I mean, how often is that gonna happen? I don't know. And there's really no way to determine it.
So I guess without skipping to the point, I'm sure anybody else, you know, has questions too, but what do you need from us?
If you guys want to see, you know, this type of business go in there, then somehow acknowledge the fact that you approve of it, and I'll bring that to planning and zoning, and I'll submit it to them. You know, I had two people come from. I had Mr. Coughlin in the back, he was concerned, and that's why we're putting up the white vinyl fence. I talked to him today, and I told him what I was doing, and you know, he seemed fine. But the other two people that had a concern about this live on Tollgate, which is 2 streets over. So I was scratching my head as to why they were even there. But I guess some people need a cause, right?
Did
So,
planning and zoning give you a hard time? I mean, I didn't watch the meeting, so.
but, you know,
Well, they didn't pass it.
Dimple's up there, you know, saying that, you know, he's having a hard time with it.
I
He's having
think
a hard time with it.
I think part of it, so that you don't, you know, dig yourself a hole. I would just say that I watched the meetings, and I think that there was just miscommunication between some of the explaining and some of the concerns, and it was like the more it was talked about, the more confused planning and zoning got, and said, you know what, we want to. They didn't want to make a decision on it, I feel.
I agree with that. Commissioner Hussey gave me specifics as, you know, the parking issue, and fine, we addressed it. Commissioner Zarilli gave me specifics. You know, let's clean up the planters. Let's show on the plan that we're getting rid of those. Let's, you know, show some nice green grass in the front. Let's show the, you know, again, the white vinyl fence. And let's just show it on the plan. And so he gave me clear direction, and I did it. There was another commissioner, and I forget his name,
That's okay.
but he
Not
said
important.
he was
Like I
worried
said,
about.
you don't want to dig yourself a hole.
Yeah, he wanted to know what we would do with the fur that got cut off the dogs when they were getting dog groomed, and that just goes in the rubbish. So, yeah. And then they wanted to know about where the dumpster was gonna go, and I said, we have town pickup there.
Yeah, and I think there were questions about like, is the greenhouse getting changed or are you using that
Right.
space and some of the other,
Right.
and what about, previously there were chemicals there because of fertilizer, because of the thing, but these are, I think a lot of those things are things that would be addressed by the relevant agencies that oversee
agree.
this type of business.
I agree. So, I think, again, that misconception about it being a nursery, where you grow plants in the ground, mulleins, those are nurseries. This was a flower shop. So a lot of her flowers were delivered, cut flowers that she made her arrangements with. Hence the need for the refrigerator, for the big, it's a walk-in cooler. So, yeah, she had a couple of plants in the greenhouse. But same plants that were in your house, same plants that are in your house. She would go out there, she would snip them, and or if you have spices that you grow in your house or whatever, you go out, you snip them, and that's it. So there was no in-ground. The nursery has a floor, so there's nothing to grow in the ground, and there was never anything farmed there. So I think that's where the confusion came in with the chemicals, were there any fertilizers in the ground? There are none.
Didn't do that.
It was a flower shop, not a nursery.
Yeah. I've shopped there when she was in
Oh,
business.
so you know
Yeah.
Julie. Everybody knew Julie. Everybody knows Julie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I think it'd be a good use for the property. I think the impact is less. And if I can get your support, I just think that would be a plus. Your
When do you
economic
go back to
development.
planning and zoning?
I go back the next meeting, which is either the 17th or the 20th. I want to say the
I
17th.
believe it's the 17th.
17th,
I'm
yeah,
pretty
last
positive.
meeting was the 20th. So I go back to 17th. Today's the 9th. 8
So
days.
next Wednesday.
A week from
Yeah.
a week from tomorrow.
Was there an action coming out of the planning and zoning? Was there an action that came out of planning and zoning?
No? They just, they made a motion to continue the public hearing.
Okay, was there an action to present here at the Economic Development Commission? Was there something
No,
that they were
not-
asking of us?
No, planning and zoning didn't specifically say for him to come here tonight. That's just something that he did on his own to come. Yeah.
You're the Economic Development Commission, so
Yeah.
we want to bring
We're
business
important
in town.
too.
Yeah,
Just bring up, just
it's you guys, right, you guys are
viewing the
important.
charter for our commission, and how do we recommend, is what I'm trying to get at. Because obviously we can't vote on planning's behalf, and that's something that's a critical path that needs to happen.
Right. So
We definitely
to
support
my,
development.
yes, to my knowledge, we would choose to, or not choose to, write a letter of support, and then that would be sent to the planning department, which would be ready for the next planning and zoning commission that he's going to next week. So that's something that I would write on behalf of the EDC, that we support his property application, yes, so.
So from a procedural standpoint, if that is all done, let's say it's in this committee votes in the affirmative to support it, you write the letter, it goes back to the zoning. Let's say they deny it, then it would go to zoning board of appeals, potentially? Is that the proper sequence?
I don't think it would go to zoning board of
Not hoping for that.
appeals.
Right.
I don't, like, they could choose to not listen to us, or, I think it's just, it's nice to have, maybe we could.
I would hope that they would listen to you
I would
guys.
hope
mean,
that
you're
they,
the
right,
Economic
so,
Development Commission
but
in this town.
to answer your question, I'm really not sure if it's voted down, if it goes anywhere past that.
And again, sir, you own which property? The one right above? And the other properties that are adjacent near it? Any statements, records, requests from them, either in opposition or?
Nope. Mr. Coughlin in the back stated that his house was 100 feet away. His house is actually 150 feet away. And that, you know, then we had mentioned putting up the white vinyl fence to give us some separation between him. His house is actually, so if here's,
No, I see
best
where
way
his
for
house
me to
is.
do this, here's our building here, here's the back door, and his house is down here.
Yeah, I see.
So I
There's
could
the
barely
elevation.
see his roof.
Right.
So his house being down here and us being up here, in conjunction with putting a 6-foot vinyl solid fence up,
It's even higher for him.
not only will we won't see him, but we won't hear him and he won't hear us.
Right.
And any communications from Claudia Kastner?
That's one right next door.
No, none. Nope, and they
Any
know what
record
I'm
from the
doing.
town receiving any? So nothing was posted, was there, or is there any public
There's been a
comment
sign
posted?
out front for almost a month and a half.
Nothing's been received?
The planning department has received a couple, but I feel that's probably a question for the town planner.
So there were 2 people that showed up. One had a concern about the chemicals because she thought it was a nursery. And the other one had a concern, I'm not really sure what her concerns were, but they both live on Tollgate. And there was a letter from a guy on Tollgate. So that's 2 streets over. They're not,
Right.
I was a little, yeah. I
That's
didn't-
the only one that I'm aware of. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
others,
those were the only concerns
Yeah.
at the meeting.
to my knowledge, that's the only
Right,
concern.
that was it. There was nothing else.
Right.
Okay.
So we're on Pleasant, there's us, land, Pleasant Valley, house, Tollgate.
Okay.
I just think it'd
so
be a
do-
real good, I think it'd be a real good fit for the town. Dr. Suida is awesome at what she does. She's been in business, I think, 7 years now. And when she went to planning and zoning for Glastonbury, she passed right away.
We take a vote and
We need a
So
motion.
should we do a motion and second and discussion?
I think it's up to, we could probably vote to do a letter of support right now if we wanted to, or if you wanted to.
Need a motion.
I'll motion that we write a letter of support for his application to planning and zoning.
Second.
All in favor?
Well, do we have any discussion, or
Discussion?
who's gonna write the letter? You write the
I
letter,
would, yes.
and then Dawn signs it?
Alondra,
Or-
right?
It's, yeah,
All right.
yeah. It's written by me. Cool.
I don't know, it seems like a good use of the property.
Yeah, I think the biggest
I like
question is about the impact to the neighbors, and planning and zoning will still have to weigh if they feel that it's more of an impact than it was before, because you don't, but,
So ultimately,
I
it's
think
up to
that,
them.
yeah, ultimately, they still vote one way or another, but,
Yeah.
it helps a little bit, I think,
to support it,
to support it.
yeah.
And, they'll have the comments from the neighbors a little bit more too. But if I recall from planning and zoning, I don't think the direct neighbor commented at all. It's exactly what Mr. Rockamora said, which is some folks on the next street over and one of the houses behind had questions about noise and things like that. But I think a lot of the questions have been answered around the overnight boarding and the volume and stuff like that, so.
Can I still speak?
Sure.
So, again, I've been in Rocky Hill almost 40 years. I own numerous other commercial properties that are adjacent to residential properties. And if the slightest of issue arises, I'm on it like nobody's business. Because I don't want a bad rap at the town. I know everybody here. I've been here a long time. I have a lot of property in town. So, if anybody calls and if there's somebody starting a truck up too early, whatever the case may be, I'm going to put a stop to it because the person's, the person that lives in the house is more important than any commercial tenant of mine. And I brought other tenants in, and we brought, Clean Uniforms and more in from Massachusetts. We brought Central Turf and Irrigation in. So I've brought numerous businesses into town. I have a good rapport with them, but I have just as good, if not better, of a rapport with my neighbors.
Yeah, I think one last comment from myself, just reviewing some items in the charter. But based on our mission statement, cultivating long-term economic growth, fostering a clear business positive environment that encourages a growing, sustainable, and diverse tax base. So what I'm hearing, it falls within our charter here, right? But we can't act or decide on based on some of the items that planning and zoning have to still focus on. That's something that, where we're going to recommend, I think, for me, I encourage the vote here on that aspect, but we can't speak to planning and zoning at this point, yeah.
Right.
I mean, can't speak on behalf of planning and zoning.
I wouldn't know. They have their job, you guys have yours.
Now, are we ready for a vote?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I think it'll be a
All
great
right.
addition
There you
to
go.
town.
And it speaks to the diversity, because I don't know that we have this business anywhere in town.
Right.
I don't
That's
think
what
we
I
do.
Well, it's very, it's very personal and selective. That's what sets her apart. And she's got a ton of, what do you call them?
Dogs?
Doctorates, no, papers that.
Oh, wow, okay.
All her certifications.
Oh, yeah, she got a
and-
lot of
Yeah.
certifications, that's it, so.
Wow.
Well, listen, I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
I think it'll be a great addition, I'm excited, hopefully. planning-
Hopefully it
Thank you
all
so
works
much.
out. It'd be great.
Well, my daughter lives on Grimes Road, and she's like, oh my God.
Don't forget your paper.
She walks her dog up at Elmridge Park, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna go down there and get Gunner some treats, you
Yeah.
know, so.
Yeah.
Very
I'm
nice.
excited. My other daughter has Millie, it's a golden, she's
Yep.
excited. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other people that I've talked to in town are excited as well. One guy told me, I walk my dog down that way every day, I'm gonna stop in. And I said, great.
Right. We see a lot of dog walkers. I watch them from my window in my office, so.
And then I think, that, I don't know, have you guys seen the building?
Yeah, been
Yeah.
by it.
Would be cool front porch with a little rock
Yep.
chair there.
Even the
So
back.
maybe the
Got that
people-
deck out back and,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm thinking maybe if people go in there to get a treat for their dog or whatever, or just to talk to Dr. Gary about an issue they may be having with their dog, that front porch would be a great little meeting, social spot for people to sit.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
hang out and talk about their pets. I
What's she
guess.
gonna do with that big barn in the back?
Okay, we need to go on, though.
Okay.
We have an agenda item to
Sorry.
speak to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thanks
Thank you
again.
so much. Thank you.
Thanks for what you guys do.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. And maybe they'll receive our brand new welcome cards that we just did.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. And you guys asked a lot of good questions, so that's really good. Do you want me to just
Yep.
dive into? I can dive into it.
If I can have one comment.
Sure.
Maybe in the future, if it's possible, it'd be nice to get a brief from
Yeah.
there to us.
Ahead of time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
If we're coming in here blind, what they're, so I don't know who would take that back, if you could take that back, before we're presented with it, a little bit more of a brief and details, pros, cons, concerns, because I just feel like a little bit of blind personally.
Or the.
I didn't watch it,
Okay.
sorry.
Are they coming here for?
Yeah.
A notes,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
a summary
Right.
write-up, maybe
Yeah.
like with
Yeah.
important bullet
This is
points of.
essentially all we would do anyway for the charter.
It'd just be
is-
nice, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I
Here to
agree. I
ask
understand
for our
that, absolutely.
endorsement for their business or
Yeah.
whatever.
Exactly.
No, that's really good feedback. So
Okay.
cool.
Thank you.
Heard. Have you guys ever heard of a strolling map? Anyone familiar with strolling
Yes.
maps?
It's a
Maybe.
map where you stroll.
Stroll?
Yeah, it's supposed to
Walk?
encourage
Walking
strolling.
map?
So downtown Middletown, if you look on their downtown Middletown website, they have a really awesome strolling map that is, it has all the retail, restaurants, services, ATMs, things to do, the fire department, police department. It's all color coded. I'm working with the same graphic designer that did that for Middletown. We're going through the data right now to do a strolling map of the Silas Dean Highway and Cromwell Ave. So we hope to have that completed by the holiday. I don't have like a mock-up,
Really not so
Today?
much strolling as driving.
but yeah.
Still,
I
it's a nice,
didn't register
yeah.
stroll.
But maybe next month I can have like a draft or the month after that. But it's really cool, and I hope it encourages, that pedestrian friendly, thing going down the Silestine Highway and Cromwell Avenue, and we have so many awesome businesses and things to do, and even like a little icon to go to the ferry to let people know that there's like the ferry grill and like the actual ferry itself, that it's down here in the town hall campus, with the library and all those things. If we can incorporate that and include Cromwell Avenue as well to make it more appealing to pedestrians, since we're trying to head in that direction.
Do you sell advertising on that map? Is that any
No, there's no advertising, so no, it's gonna be very straightforward, like no blocks of businesses trying to sell anything or to put their name out there. It's just a map with icons, and it's color coded with the list of businesses and all of that. So I hope to have something for next time to actually show you guys, so it's easier to understand. But I guess in the meantime, if you have a spare moment, go to downtown Middletown and you'll find it on there.
it'd be nice to have anyway. Like,
Yeah.
you ever home like at one night and you don't want to cook and you're like, which restaurant do you
I
want to go
have
to?
done that.
So at least
Yeah.
this way you can pull out the map and like
Down
restaurants.
Silestine,
Restaurant trail.
I've done that.
Yeah. So, even the restaurant trail, it's hard to update with that too, since I just created that, and now there's some places that have come and gone. So, anyway, that's a whole different thing. Any more questions on the strolling map?
No, I look forward to seeing it.
Nice. How
Yay.
many copies are you making?
So,
6.
we think it's probably going to be digital for now. Maybe down the line we could do physical copies. It just kind of depends. But that's definitely something we could look into, is like to print out actual. See, Alan's got it on his computer. If you look at his screen, I have to squint to see it from where I'm sitting.
Do you see the general color scheme?
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
Great.
Just
I'm
like
very
Alondra said,
excited.
look up downtown Middletown scrolling map.
Strolling.
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 Scrolling,
Well, you
strolling,
scroll through the
diving,
scrolling map.
something. Do
You
something.
scrolling or strolling?
And then the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is Shoppy Hill Saturday, which is a play on Small Business Saturday. It's Saturday, November 29th. I figure it would be, I want to do something with the holiday season to promote our businesses in town, and I think it would be really cool if we were to create like a passport program and maybe get, for example, like at least 10 different businesses to come on. You could pick up a passport in the office over here, and it shows you all the different businesses that you can stop in, and maybe they're doing like a promotional buy one, get one free, 10% off your total purchase. It could be totally customizable to what they want to do. They're not forced to do anything. They're not forced to do a certain discount. It could be totally up to them, it encourages people to stop in and spend money and to visit other places. I think a challenge with that is to get the interest of businesses, because I know that was something I struggled with Make Music Day back in June. You can email and you can make flyers and visit them in person and explain to them the idea, but I think the biggest challenge is to actually get these businesses and to get them to sign on and say, yes, I'm interested and I want to offer a discount, whatever it is. So I might need maybe help from you guys if you're ever free. And obviously there's more information on this to come. If you're in town, flyers, whatever, to stop into these places and say like, hey, you should do Shoppy Hill Saturday. It's one day only, it's all day, and it can really be whatever you want to get people, entice people to spend money at your business and to enjoy Rocky Hill for the holidays.
It's free advertising.
Yeah, so,
Surprised that wouldn't encourage them to do that.
It's a great idea.
thank you.
Great idea.
Thank you. Any questions I can answer? It's still really early on, but I hope to have more info as we go. So between the business directory, the strolling map, and Shoppy Hill Saturday for the holiday season, I think that'll come together nicely. That's the goal.
Great.
should we notify you if we are in businesses and they're interested?
Absolutely, yes.
Yep,
So I plan to, like I said, I hope to get a passport with at least 10 different businesses, and I hope to keep those passports maybe within my office so people can stop in town hall, check in there. Maybe they could check in with Daniel or something to make it easier, like quick out the door, like, hey, come get your passport. Or maybe it's like a limited amount of passports, like the first 30 people get a passport, and then it's your challenge to visit as many places as you can on that Saturday. Something like that. But I'm totally open to suggestions and recommendations from you guys. So if you think of anything, maybe not now, but later, let me know. So, yeah. And that's about all I have for today.
Okay. Any other business discussion?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Okay. So can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion?
Second?
In favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.